Hello, everybody. Tom here. Michelle just went to grab her water, so she'll be right with us. Hope everybody's having a great day. Um, how was your day?
Oh my goodness. Are you asking me or the group?
I'm asking you, but the group can throw in too.
Well, it's good. It's super hot, as I'm sure you know. Um, but I'm managing. It's good, working, paying
Yeah,
my taxes.
yeah. I
Right?
had I just got back from the dentist, so if I talk funny, they didn't freeze my mouth, which was great. Oh, wait 1 second here.
Well,
They
it's a
didn't.
little disappointing. I was sort of hoping you'd be doing some
I'd
drooling.
be drooling.
Yeah.
Is it really sunny behind me?
Yes.
Okay, give me a second. You tell us how your day went.
All right. So, welcome everyone. So happy you're here with us today. For anyone who's coming for the very first time, ooh, good idea. My name is Michelle, and I'm joining you, excuse me, from beautiful Sarnia, Ontario, where it is, I don't even know what the temperature is right now, but it's super hot, but we are managing. And that's because we are survivors, right? Not
Like that.
victims. And everything's going to be fine. I'd also actually like to throw out, please don't get caught up in the hysteria of a warm Canada. It is not the first time we've been warm. So just saying, I had somebody, a Facebook friend, I don't know if he comes on here or not, but he posted previous Junes throughout the time that June has been being recorded. And there was lots of times we were this hot, but we didn't have, and fun fact, feel free to share everybody if you have some input. It got this hot when we were kids and we didn't have air conditioners. We were acclimatized to it, right? We're in a different time where, it's funny, Alec, meh, he, I'll have to tell him that at some point.
I'm telling you.
He, okay, so my area, my fresh air area is very secure. Alec made that happen for me. So the other day, he walks through from the kitchen to my area and it's fine. I have it set to 70. And he's like, oh, I don't think it's cold enough, blah, blah, blah. And then he says at work, because he works for like Sarnia or Canada Steel. So it's a big open warehouse. So he says, when I walk in the office at work, it's freezing. And I mentioned it to him today. I said, Alec, that's not what I want. I want tolerable where I'm not sweating, but I'm not having a heart attack when I walk into humidity, right? Like this is where it can really challenge us and set us up for failure.
Well, it's funny, and then I'll tell you what my day was like. But anyways, it was funny. It's funny because I love history. It's just one of my loves. Can history be reported wrong? I guess so. You can have
Absolutely.
two people looking at a fire whenever, and person A can see the red flames, and person B can see the building on fire, whatever, right? So it's actually it's if you're interested, if you're kind of into this nerdy stuff, there's scientific components. I'm going to talk a bit about it, about some of our self-talk and some things that came out of the video Michelle shared. But it's interesting how beliefs are formed and how we come to different conclusions. So I go to in our mom's place, and I'm telling you, not one person has ever been in there and said it's nice. It is warm. She's always freezing. And I
Oh,
go in there and I'll be quicker to overheat than underheat. 70 is fine for me. I always have to have moving air, so I've got a fan on me, whatever, right?
me too. Yeah.
But it's interesting because I have probably like Michelle or like most of us, I have friends from all over. And if you talk to somebody, I was talking to somebody a few years ago, trying to think where I met them, but they're from Africa. They're from West Africa. First time to Canada, and they got off of Montreal, and I think it was in like September, October. Never seen snow. They were like totally frozen. So now they've climatized over the 3 years, right? And they like it. They don't complain, right? But it's interesting, our perception. So I'll tell you my day before the question. So we all have our days, and I think sharing our days is good. I think Michelle and I sharing. So, anyways, I got every twice a year, depending on my performance, I get a bit of a bonus, and which offsets my salary for the year. My bonus, like they should give me a bonus. The salaries probably should be a little higher, but anyways, leave that. I like this company, and so I got it. So now I'm just doing confession here. So I'm just double checking who's on, Michelle. There's just me right now, I think.
Okay, and me.
Yeah, and people can listen later. Oh no, there's somebody else. Or is it you? Who's with us? Oh, Jael and Marine. Hi, Jael, Marine.
Oh, yay.
Yeah. So I'm just sharing a little bit of my day, week, whatever. So I've been in this company 10 years. So I think I have 5 weeks of holidays to take, and I lose them. So this was a staycation we talked about. So I did that. So anyways, I got a bonus. And so one of the things I forgot to do is, the short version story is, my wife and I sold a townhouse here a couple of years ago. My wife and I are living in separate places for some wellness, but we hang out, we get along. We're not seeing anybody else. We're not like into triples or whatever that word is. Thirples, some weird word I heard, whatever. And so I bought a house in Alberta. And so I don't know what the housing market is in Ontario or across Canada. The house I bought with my money after selling the townhouse, I bought a house for 140,000. The bank owns 2/3 of it.
Of course.
And that same house where I live in BC, like an hour from Vancouver, would be $1 million.
Right.
It's dumb, right? So anyways, I have had the house for 2 years. Because I'm not there, I somehow forgot to pay my property tax.
Ooh.
Not a good thing. So I don't know. So anyways, I was talking to the town, the city people, and I pay the water or sewer through them. And they said, oh, we've got an envelope for you, but it looks like the taxes, and now the second taxes were due. So to whatever they were, thankfully, I had enough money from my bonus to pay that. And then I, with expenses like my medical supplies I need and different things, like I live paycheck to paycheck like everybody else, right? And so I think today I spent $1,200. I had to go to the dentist, and my coverage is limit. Yep. They made me nice teeth, which is great. So I look good. So anyways, I was just thinking, because we're talking about confidence and lack of confidence and perception, right? And part of what happens is and Michelle's so good at this, we want a healthy perception of ourselves, regardless of our financial state, our age. If you're a teenager or a preteen or a senior, and so how do we wrestle through that? So last week, Michelle has her questions for me in a second, but last week we're going to do a bit of a follow-up, because impacted me was a video she shared, and the video was from a Dove commercial.
Yes, right.
Yeah, which was so interesting. I haven't had time to look through some stuff about that, because I thought it was so good, but it was so interesting of them having a sketch artist that I think worked for the police, and it's like telling them, oh, this is the person that robbed me, and this. So it's interesting in our perception and perspective. And then so they were saying what they looked like to the person. And if you haven't seen it, you got to watch it, so good. And then other people the artist never gets to see the people, but the other people now said what they thought. So they've never met. It's not like, oh, it's my daughter, she's 10 out of 10, blah blah blah.
Right.
And when we saw the sketchings later, every sketch that was their description of themselves was like they noticed the big wart or the mole, or I've got a fat face or whatever, right? And the other people didn't see those things. So it's so, and this is so important, because we sometimes feel people view us the way we view ourselves.
Right.
And it's I'm that way, to be honest with you. I've got this big hernia from my cancer surgery. Rest of me is fine. I'm doing good. I'm still down like 45 pounds, so I'm doing good. I'm healthy. I'm taking care of my. I've had, when I get kind of attacked through depression, I know how to deal with it. I don't get sucked into a vortex, right?
Right.
But I, unfortunately, when I look in the mirror, I noticed this big bump on my left side,
Right.
and it's like the girl with the mole. And even though I'm well and good, it's so interesting. Even when we're healthy, our perspective.
Yeah.
Now, Michelle's one of my heroes because I think she falls into that, but not obviously. Like I think Michelle is
Totally
well.
do. Right.
No, shh, they're listening. Okay, we're going to talk about it. So go ahead with your questions.
Okay, so I just want to throw something else out. And I love that you never see these videos before bubbly.
Michael Bublé.
Oh, I, there you go. So
Hey, go
I
ahead.
love that when I share a video, you've never seen it. It's sort of like one of those those videos that trend where a response, right? A response thing. So if you're interested, I have another video for tonight, ties in with what we're doing.
Love
6
it.
minutes, 7 minutes. But here's my questions for today. So, Tom, sandals or Crocs?
Sandals. I've never worn a
Totally.
croc or an alligator ever.
Right now, we might have to talk to Nicole. She wears some weird things, but sandals for me as well. Let's talk ice cream. Chocolate or vanilla?
Okay, I'm going to throw something in here that you listen to it. If you
Okay.
go, I don't know what stores have it or not. Teresa and I found about 3 months ago at a Fresco here, which is like a Safeway, whatever. It's an offshoot. Do you have Fresco there? No.
I don't think so.
Tahitian vanilla ice cream.
Oh,
You're looking it up now. Are you writing it down?
I'm writing it down.
I'm telling you, like, so the way I look at your question is what can I eat on a constant basis? Chocolate's so rich. I do like chocolate, but I probably have had vanilla 6, 7 to 1, and I love ice cream.
Me too. Oh, I agree. I agree. If we have multiple varieties in the freezer, which we often do, because Nana likes a sale. So
Yeah,
I will though. I'll go for the vanilla, but if I have some chocolate syrup, that's actually ideal because then I can mix it up a little bit. So I tend to lean in with you. And then my last question of today, grilled cheese or BLT?
oh, that's not fair. You don't pick questions that go from like 1 to 10, which is easy. They're both like 4, 5, and 6, right? Um, and so if you up the BLT to a clubhouse,
Ooh, now
that
we're
would be kind
talking.
of
Toasted
special.
with mayo?
I eat more like over. I don't eat grilled cheese. I haven't had grilled cheese for a while. Now I'm hungry. I probably eat more grilled cheese
Oh, me too.
than I do. Um, what did you say? Bacon and tomato?
Yeah,
Yeah,
BLT. BLT.
yeah,
Yeah. And you're right. I mean, you can combine like a lot of times if I make a grilled cheese, because Alec is he has bacon and eggs every day faithfully. So I can scoop up a little bit of his bacon. So quite often I would do a grilled cheese with bacon. That
yeah,
would be but there's something with real butter.
yeah.
Real butter, right?
Do you shop at Costco?
No, we have one in London, which is an hour away. Nicole does though. So when she texts me to babysit Gemma, so she can go to Costco, I can ask her for things. So
Costco, I've got a love hate with Costco
mhm.
because I really like out here for sure. Some of their products, like to me, their Kirkland toilet paper is the best. Like I just think
And the price is good.
the price
Yep,
is great, right?
yep.
But you go there and they've got good things. But I don't want to, like, I feel like whenever I leave there and I only needed like 4 or 5 things, I just spent $200.
That's me. Because and it's funny with my members at the meeting I just went to, or I just ran, we got talking about, like, I have wellness Michelle, who's on a journey. And then I have frugal Michelle that likes 99% chips or 99-cent chips. But the reality is, you get what you pay for, right? So it's really easy to walk in Costco and be like, wow, a year's worth of body lotion. What a great
See,
deal. I don't even use it. What's happening?
and I'm telling you, I'm going to tell you two quick things about Costco. So one of my things, like my background being a chef in restaurants, what I was always into good food, and like, so I
Yeah,
could eat crap food, but I could be into good food.
right.
And but when I learned marketing and about this whole front of the house to be successful was
Yes.
changed the way I did business. I still did good food, but now I understood you can do good food and lose your shirt, right?
Oh,
So
absolutely.
and so part of it is what our needs and wants, and I think if we're honest, we have a hard time to differentiate, right?
Right.
What how many t-shirts did I tell you have in my closet?
Oh, I
I'm
don't know.
gonna take them. Okay, because I'm not scared. I don't like I care, but I don't care. I'm
No,
gonna
I get it.
send you, I'm gonna post on here at some point a picture of Tom's closet. I am open to be talked about
Are you going
because
to be on a
Michelle said
t-shirt
we're on a journey.
We're
I
on a journey.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna like take anyways, you'll see my closet, right? But
Okay.
here's the thing about Costco though. So one of their marketing tools, so they say, and in my company we do roasting for Kirkland coffee. We have the contract in Canada, which
Oh,
is
okay. Yeah.
and value price and to their specs. But they say that their samples, which are awesome, usually
Yeah.
2 out of 3 people that sampled buy that product. I'm gonna say I don't everybody fudges those up. But
Sure.
even if it's 1 out of 3, if 3 out of 9, if like
Yeah.
3.5 out of 10, that's gold.
That's a
And
win. Yeah.
and so the reason I'm saying that, and we're going to talk about some of this in a bit, is it's it's a perception. Like I took this course and I did this thing in Penticton, second restaurant I had, and I offered in a clip-on coupon into the local newspaper, Penticton this
Oh,
was, and
yeah.
I put best Caesar salad in the Fraser Valley,
Okay.
free, complimentary. I did a little side Caesar. My cost for it was 50 cents. I
Ooh,
did real bacon, real parm. I used
nice.
craft dressing, whatever,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And I was telling my Scottish frugal hostess, who was elderly, she was so sweet. She goes, people are just going to come in and take advantage of you. And I laugh at her going, because you're Scottish and you would? So, well, whatever, right? So we clipped the coupon. So you know what I learned in this course, and it was to do with psychology or people, right? Is for most part, majority of people don't like something for free. We feel awkward.
Right.
So in most part, right? It depends on time and culture. So
Yeah.
we clipped coupons from the first week. I think first week we had 50 coupons, and people would nobody had Caesar salad and a glass of water. The cheapest was a
Exactly
coffee,
right.
a
Right.
pop. But the purpose was it to bring people in. And then so that's Costco's thing. I mean, that's why Walmart, all the big box stores put everything you don't need in the front, all the sweets.
That's right.
Because you're
That's
going,
that's right.
maybe one chocolate bar will be okay today, or cheap
Yeah.
chips,
Yeah,
cheap chips.
exactly. That's right. And you smell the chicken, right? You
Yeah,
smell the whatever's in the oven. I mean, uh, KFC, a lot of people don't realize they literally vent right out the top so you
yeah.
can smell it for 6 blocks either
That,
direction to
that's
get
totally
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're like cartoon characters following our noses in.
I love that. I'm just saying hi to our group. What do I do with the group? Anyways,
Okay.
so I'm looking at a
And
second computer screen. I'm trying to see who's on that. So Michelle, with going into our talk,
yes,
do you think would it be beneficial to show your video at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end? What do you think?
at the beginning.
Well, let's do it.
Let the games begin. Okay, so my air conditioner blew my fuse, so bear with me a second while I get organized here so that I don't deafen everybody. Hold on a second. And We've got it. Hold on a moment. I don't need that. Very good. And I think it's that button. Yes, it is. Okay, here we go. Because I think it's all going to tie in together for our conversation. So we got to share the sound. There we go. My mouse is still being a jerk. Good. Go.
Well, 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 if it isn't the classiest audience I have ever laid eyes on.
Right.
Yeah, that's right. Talking to you. Romantic relationships have a huge propensity to make you feel valued. Whether it actually does depends mostly on how confident you are that your partner loves and values you. Well, extensive research has actually shown us that even though people with low self-esteem have more doubt, they're less likely to accept compliments and praise. It's not that we don't give enough compliments, it's that we often refuse to accept them. Allow me to demonstrate. I love the way you did your hair today.
Really? It's a mess. I haven't washed it.
I love that necklace.
Oh, I got it on sale.
You look absolutely stunning.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
See this? This is my life. Thankfully, there is a solution. Studies show that you can actually boost your self-esteem and conquer insecurity if you go beyond accepting a compliment by focusing on the meaning behind it. To show this, we did an experiment. First, we brought in couples to act as our subjects, and then gave them a test to measure their self-esteem. Without telling them how they did, we asked whoever scored lower to briefly step out. We have totted up the scores, and I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask Kai to step outside.
Oh, man.
Yeah, sorry. And I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
Ooh. Okay, great.
Oh, okay. Yes. We asked the person who stayed to really consider who their partner was and write down 5 of the most authentic compliments they could give that person. When they were done, we asked them to read what they wrote their partners. By the way, no matter what he says, you can only respond with thank you.
Okay.
Okay. No matter what she says, you are only allowed to respond with thank you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Shakira Keller is a fantastic writer.
Thank you.
You are smart.
Thank you.
Tamra is beyond beautiful.
Thank you.
Because of who you are, you have inspired me to be a better and stronger person on this planet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
According to the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, when people go beyond merely hearing compliments and are asked to actually describe the meaning and significance of them, they actually started to feel better about their relationships and themselves. Okay, Karina, now Oscar is going to repeat all of those one by one. And for each one, I want you to explain how what he says makes you feel and how it's significant to your relationship, okay?
Okay.
Shakira Keller is a fantastic writer.
I love that. One of the things that I do really pride myself on is my writing. And as much as I don't let you read what I write, I really do appreciate the fact that you think that. Makes me really happy.
You are the most beautiful person I've ever met.
I think that's very sweet. I don't think that's true, but I feel very humbled that someone thinks that.
Shakira Keller is very stylish.
No matter what it is that I put on, I feel like you would say that anyway, just to make me feel good, which is great. I love you for that.
Tamra is beyond beautiful.
I really need to hear from you sometimes that I'm beyond beautiful because I'm getting old, and I hope that you still see me as beautiful, and beyond beautiful means like metaphysical, like the heart.
You have inspired me to be a better person and a stronger person.
I feel very thankful that you think that way, because I feel as though every day you show me who I can be, and that person's always better. So I'm thankful that you think that.
Shakira Keller is adorable in all the weirdest ways.
I wouldn't call myself adorable, but I'm glad that you think that, because I don't think that there's that many people who would say that and appreciate the weird things about me.
You are the most loving and caring person I know.
I think that this is very important to Oscar. His mother, I know, was very caring when she was alive and very loving, and it's something and someone I try to be every day, and I know that he does the same for me every day.
You're confident.
I don't know. It makes me feel good that she says that as well, because I feel like I don't have a lot of confidence. If she views me as a confident person, then maybe everybody else that I interact with sees me as a confident person as well.
I love you more than anything.
Thank you. It's hard to always accept that. I mean, that's true. I feel like that's something that everyone wants. And I feel so fortunate, and I feel the same way. And I know that it's so special and it's unique, and thank you.
When they were done, we went ahead and tested their self-esteem one more time. We saw an average increase in self-esteem of 11%, with increases as high as 34%, and nobody decreased. Accepting compliments doesn't mean you're arrogant or conceited. It's healthy for both you and your relationship by validating your partner's thoughts. You just watched us try this experiment out with couples. But remember, this is a great exercise to try in any sort of relationship you care about. So feel free to try it out. If you want, film it and upload it to YouTube with the hashtag Science of Love. And
Because Tom loves hashtags, right?
100%.
Absolutely. So I didn't pick that because of the relationship part. I picked it because it just shows, which ties in with our own perspective, that how hard it is to take compliments, and also understanding sometimes we feel like they're empty words. So they're hard to process, right? Like the one girl with the dark hair, she was really struggling, right? She even cried, just knowing she was loved so much, which ties in with so many different things. What did you think?
Yeah. And my first thought was, I don't know if people think this way or not. I put a question up there. Is it easier to give or get compliments? There's a question. But
Absolutely.
for those that have joined us, because we have a larger group, if you haven't seen the video, Michelle will put the video on our page.
Yeah.
And then she'll privately share it with me, so I can privately share with people out of our group.
Right.
Depending on your personal self-talk, or if, because I believe majority of us are, it's easier to be negative, and I'll share some stats. And I think then it's, for certain personality types, it's easy to have like a false confidence.
Right.
And I'm not talking arrogance. I'm just talking like we kind of hide. We're scared, but we don't feel good about ourselves because
Yep.
we suck at A, B, C, D, right?
Yep.
So I'm watching it and I love it. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking of, and this is probably my fault. This is negative. I'm thinking of people I know that would, certain types of people I know that would get caught up with Michelle just said on a relational thing. They would agree or disagree with a certain type.
Right.
And I'm telling you, as soon as you do that, you're hooped. I'm just, you will have that thorn in your mind forever. You will like, being open to people and ideas and thoughts doesn't mean you have to run with them and that you're gonna get brainwashed. I'm not talking about that. But to dissipate negative begins with us. I said something in the thing and I'm going to share it. My hashtag, I'm going to share it. Hashtag no shortcuts.
Love it. I'm a hashtag girl. Sorry.
Yeah. And so, yeah, me and Michelle are going to do some shirts. So I don't know. Because, and the reason I thought of that at the gym, I went to the gym for the first time in 3 weeks on Tuesday. And I'm telling you the truth, it's easy to give myself excuses why not to go. Yeah. And I've been battling kind of my energy's been low and stuff. And that doesn't mean I shouldn't be aware of that. But I just, going into this from the video last week, I thought, man, it's so easy to find an excuse to not believe in myself enough to do things I need to do to be better.
That's right.
And it's not a competition against the world.
Exactly.
You've got to put that, like the girl saying, I hope you think I'm beautiful when I'm older. I know people personally that say that, people I care about. And it's not our beauty is, we live in a culture where it's external.
Yeah.
It's about how much money you have in the bank,
Yep.
your PhD, and perception of how you look. And I'm telling you, you will die empty at the end of the day. It has no life, right?
Absolutely.
So what are your thoughts with it when you first time you saw that, or watching it again? What did you think?
Yeah, so I have a lot of videos I used to share pre-COVID. So I've been going through them. A lot of them I'm sad they're deleted, but I have a bunch. So when I rewatch that, the girl that struggled accepting the love and the compliments, and then absolutely the aging lady. I
Yeah.
think for all of us, we go through that, right? Because we're changing, our bodies are changing, our hair, whatever. So just, and the other part of that as well, I'm going to hashtag you to death now, just warning you. The other thing is too, is that, so as you're getting older, you don't have to be inhibited by your health if you look after it, right? But a lot of times we have preconceived notions that, we're going to slow down more than we are or whatever. But the reality is we do slow down somewhat. So, or now I like going to bed at 10 o'clock. I used to like going out at 10 o'clock. Now I like going to bed at 10 o'clock, or at least being horizontal watching TV. So like wrapping your head around that, like every decade, chapters open and chapters close. It is what it is, right? So she really resonated with me. And I really liked what she said about the beauty of internally or spiritually, or however she verbalized that.
Yeah.
Right? Because, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're going to get older. There's no getting around it.
The only thing I wish, and there's probably I wrote down the name Soul Pancake, so I'm gonna have to check stuff out.
Okay.
The only thing that I wish there was a guy or a couple of guys on the couch receiving, because there wasn't, was there?
No.
Oh no, there was.
Oh.
The one guy, if
Which
I'm
one?
not saying the Asian guy.
Oh, okay, right.
No,
Right.
so that's fine. Yeah, because again, not in the culture we live in across the board, but your ability to receive compliments and give compliments, by the way, is based, I believe, Michelle, and you can throw in, I believe, is mostly based on experience. It's an experiential thing.
Oh, I think so
Right.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Even-
And go ahead.
yeah, I was just saying, even though it affects our brain, and there's some studies that prove about, and I've shared a few times about experience we did at school about telling somebody, "Do you feel okay? You look a little sick. Are you okay?" And so,
Absolutely.
so Michelle and I have joked about for a while, and this is going to be a thread that'll go into many of our conversations. And first of all, I want to apologize. I did say I was going to put up all of the talks we've done. I will do it.
Well, it's all on the YouTube page. They're all in order.
I know, but I'm going to post it here. I'm actually going to post it on my personal page.
Okay.
But Michelle and I had a talk a while ago, and it was something I thought about a long time ago. I get my weird little things, and it was the difference between perception and perspective.
Right.
And perspective is more so an external. I'm looking at a mountain. Perception is what I think about looking at that mountain.
Okay.
Could be more. You can challenge me. I'm a big boy.
Yeah, that's so it's just an interesting way to present it. So, but I get what you're saying, because see, are you in it, or are you looking at it as an outsider looking in? Is the way I think of it. So, when you walk into a restaurant to order a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup, don't judge me. When you walk in there, you have an expectation of what you think the service is going to be, the pricing, and then of course the product. So that would be my perspective of what I expect. Where if I own the restaurant, my perception of all the people coming in, coming through is I know what that sandwich is going to look like. I know how that's going to play out. Does
Yeah.
that make sense?
But here's kind of a caveat with all of this, and everybody understand this is mental wellness for life. Everything we
Absolutely.
talk about is to do about our personal well-being.
That's right.
That's why the new hashtag no shortcuts and whatever Michelle put, can do hard things. There you go.
Thank you.
We're gonna do something. But see, in my experience, and doesn't mean Tom's right. Like even my convictions and thoughts can differ. Me and Michelle have different thoughts and convictions on things that we don't. I don't remember lots of them, but probably some, right?
Right.
And this idea of confidence
Right.
is, it's not based on whatever. So I want to use your restaurant thing. Somebody coming in that's like acts like he's a customer, acts like he owns the place because he's got money, whatever. That's his confidence isn't in himself, his confidence in what he has, right?
Right.
Which is a whole different conversation, right? Women confidence in how much makeup we put on. I'm not judging makeup. If you want to look good, but you need to feel good about yourself before you put the makeup on, then feel good when you on. So the owner, so the caveat with your example, but it's an important one, is the owner has a different perspective because he needs the product to look good and the service to be good, because his caveat is he has to pay the bills and pay the staff, and you know what I mean? That's not a negative. That's not a negative, right? So for me to go out, when I do business, I do like business casual. This is one of my shirts, whatever, right? I'm wearing shirts, so I love this. I'm happy.
I love that. You look good.
Shirts, but when I go out, and even the winter out here, it's not winter, I wear short sleeve, but there's a certain perception that my customers will have. Now, here's a funny thing. They may not have that. My company that trust me and like me, they would have a perspective on policy, we'll say, right? Now, they babysit me and they won't, but they would trust that I understand it'd be like you with your other job with rooms and that, right? So it's interesting. So here's I've got notes, and we always do notes. So one of the things with confidence and lack of confidence, or false confidence is a word, say it, is usually it's self-talk. And self-talk doesn't mean it doesn't mean like I'm sure all of us in the car talk to ourselves. That's not self-talk. Self-talk is your inner voice.
That's right.
Self-talk is you look in the mirror and you go, and I know I deal with men lots, mostly men, 80% men I deal with, right? And some of them are like, hey, I'm pretty hot today, looking in the mirror in front of me, by the way. And inside, I know they lack confidence. They're putting on it's a placebo. They're putting on a perception. But where this whole idea of where does our why do we believe what we believe? Why do we believe, and this is open for everybody and for us, me and you, to talk back and forth. Why do we believe and have confidence, or where we lack confidence? So here's my question to you. So we're going to do a little question and answer, if you're okay with that.
Sure.
Were you always a confident person?
No, absolutely not.
You were raised by an English family.
Yep.
That were lovely.
So that's interesting. So I think like I was, but then I went through all those normal things though. Do you know what I mean? So going back to that foundation is great, right? It takes me back to fall back on. But I think a big thing with me, so I had the foundation, but then I went through all the normal things. I wasn't a straight A student. I was bullied, like I wasn't the prettiest girl, you know what I mean? Whatever. I went through like all those normal things. I had pimples, everything else like everybody else. But with me, and I've thought about that a lot, even more so since we've been meeting every week, I think because I had a really bad relationship. Yeah, right. We're working on each other all the time. So I had a really bad relationship in my age 17 to 22. And I think crawling out of that, literally and figuratively, I think that really changed me because in those years, that was like my darkest time. And then probably like 5 years after, because there's a stalking situation that happened. But I think after I survived all that, and then that craziness stopped, I think that really helped me because I realized how much I had endured and how much I had gone through. And by that time, my greatest supporter, who is my dad, he was gone. He died. So do you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
it's funny because I think about prior to that, like the Michelle prior to that to after that, two completely different people. I would not have stuck up for myself. I would not have spoke up for myself. No, not an answer, where now it's a complete sentence. Do you know what I mean? So I think age, experience, and wisdom put me more in that situation. So like I was lucky that I got built up. And this is where it goes back to sorry to sort of circle back a little bit, but like when somebody says to you, "Oh, Tom, you're so smart." If you've been told your whole life you're stupid, that's where inside you're going to be like, they don't even know. I'm with you, Alan. I talk to myself when I need expert opinions. I love
Yeah.
it. But it's so true, right? Like this is where the arguing comes in with, or somebody that like, oh, I'm head over heels in love with you. And do they really know me? Do they know what I did last summer? Like, or whatever that scenario looks like, right?
See, the thing I was going to say, so the important thing with self-talk, I want to get back to you because me and you can be vulnerable. I think we
Oh,
are.
that's right. Yeah.
And like Michelle said, this journey that we're on all together, that we're on,
Mhm.
I believe since January when we started this, because awareness, you're
Yes.
either going to live in denial and not want to deal with the hard stuff, right?
Yep.
No shortcuts. Now we can take a pause and a break and need different things. So I'm not saying that, but um, I feel encouraged because this makes me and Michelle do the work. Now, part of it is we're just speaking out of our experience, but then we're learning, we're getting information as we go, combination, right?
Right.
But
Right.
so Michelle shared this before, so it's on video, and she shared about you went to school, you didn't graduate, but then you went back to school, right?
Right. Well, yeah. Uh, mm, what? Well, what? I don't know. So, well, that's so I went to high school and then I graduated from an unmet wed mother's home in Kitchener. And then I went back to school 10, 15 years later to
Yeah.
college as an adult. Is that what we're
Yeah.
saying?
Kind of. But yeah.
Okay.
So the thing I was going to say. So Michelle and I have shared some of this
Mhm.
publicly. We'll probably share a bit more at another time where we're going to do share our story thing if we
Yeah.
do that. But like we said, we have the same mom. We have 7 siblings.
Mhm.
Michelle and our younger brother and our the bottom 4 in age wise were all put up in Ontario social assistance,
Foster homes.
whatever it's called, right?
Yep. Yep.
And so, to whatever degree would happen with our mom and things happen, so leave that. But we were raised in different situations. At that point, we were all put in foster care, but we all came out, but we went different places.
Oh,
And the younger ones all had stable homes, and but for us we had our mother, and then there was a new man that was a provider, but we had stability as a roof over our head and food, right?
right.
So the thing that I'm learning in some of the courses and things I'm taking, first of all, to go back to the 60s, being as a child, 60 to 70s, then you go until when was Nicole born? 90.
94.
So my
94.
daughter was 92, right? So
Right.
then we have our 30 some year-old children with their children. So
Right.
even now, I have some people that drive me nuts and they go, oh, well, when I was a child, the world's different. Everything's different. The stress level, the everything is different in some degree. It doesn't mean we can't learn and there's not some
Right.
similar things,
Right.
but like what Michelle was saying, and again, we've talked about it, is if you come from what we would call a stable home, like, so you come from a home
Yeah.
where, and I'm not going to say that you're a Richie Rich or some weird
No,
thing, but
no.
you know, you went to school, depending if you had siblings or not, that's another caveat,
Yep.
because then how, you know, mom or dad talk to sibling one or two or three, that's a whole different, right?
Yeah.
But we become, our self-talk starts at a year early age. It actually starts when we go to preschool and the type of teachers we have and how the kids around us, and we're so, and that's not saying, I wrote down, we can shift.
Oh, absolutely.
We're not stuck.
That's
But
right.
so like Michelle, when I first met Michelle, Michelle's always been kind. So I'm being vulnerable. I got goosebumps, actually, goosebumps. But Michelle, when we first met, we had like just the weirdest thing outside of me calling her my other sister's name. And then we went on some weird journey for, it was like a weekend at Bernie's, whatever that movie was. And we had no dead bodies. And because we had not been together, but we knew we're siblings, we had this awkward kind of, in our younger brother, humor, because we were siblings and we were excited, but we didn't know how to deal with that, right? So we did it the way we did it, right? And I got goosebumps. There you go. And so I remember, like, not even then, but then at our reunion where you all together when you came across Canada, Michelle doesn't give up. She's a battler.
That's right.
For those that know Michelle and know about her life, and this has got nothing to do with her family, Michelle does not give up.
Right.
It's not an excuse. If I got to work 16 jobs, I got to do whatever, she'll do
Yep.
it.
That's it.
And I don't know, not that I felt like you would have given in before, but I think my perspective from here in our relationship, something either shifted instantly. I don't think so with you. I think generally the reality of you believing in yourself, and more and more when we get older, I think it's easier. That's me. When Michelle did her radio show with her buddy,
Sandy.
that, I don't know, and I don't know, we're not going to get sued or anything. I'm not mentioning the name of it, whatever.
Oh, that's
Yeah, they're not going to sue me, right?
no.
But when
They
we
banned
start feeling comfortable to be able to share our thoughts and ideas, and they're not shut down and you're stupid and what are you talking about? And this is the hard thing when we talk to people that have a different viewpoint of us. It could be
Right.
based on faith, on politics, on, you know, our health condition in Canada, world, whatever, right?
Absolutely.
Learning how to take that negative defensive posture and be open to listen to people. Even like I put myself in situations people are totally different than me. Totally.
Yeah,
You know
good.
what I want to do? I want to learn.
That's right.
I
That's
don't want
right.
to be like them.
Yeah.
I don't think, right? But
Right.
see, the confidence, going back to the restaurant, the confidence the owner has in his staff, in his
Yeah.
preparation, that confidence is passed on. So this whole idea of our self-belief, tell me now, your dad passed away when you were how old?
25.
Okay. How old are you now without telling me? No, don't tell me.
I don't
We
care.
don't, me and Michelle don't care.
56. I don't care. 56.
Yeah. I joke
Very
about it.
young 56.
Yeah. After that, so I'm going to say in the last 20 years, tell us somebody that has been one of the most positive influences in your life.
Like a real person I know, or just in general?
I'm not talking about your imaginary friends.
Well, there's been so many, like so
Just pick
many.
one. I'm not asking for the best. Just somebody who's been a positive influence in 25 years. That's helped change you. Top of your head.
Top of my, so I think of like Brene Brown, like somebody I follow on video, not somebody that I can't reach out and hug. But
Yeah.
there has been, you know, it's so funny when you're talking about this, because there's been different, you know how we talked before about having those different moments where one person, just even if you don't remember who it was, they use that verbiage. Like I remember when I was a kid, some guy on the back of a pickup truck saying, and he saw other kids picking on me, and him saying, you know what, you're going to be, I can tell by your cheekbones and this and that, you're going to be beautiful when you grow up. And I couldn't tell you who the guy was, but he was like, he gave me some motivation and inspiration. When I was waitressing at a Greasy Spoon, I was going through a lot of stuff personally, and I worked at the same place when my dad died. And I remember the owner's wife, they're both passed away now, and her saying, you know, this isn't a career for you, right? Like there's something better lies ahead for you. She didn't tell me what it was. And it was in that moment that I decided as soon as Nicole was in school full time, I was going to go back to school. So, but it's those little, as much as there's nuggets of negativity, well, you're stupid, you'll never amount to anything. If we cherry pick the moments of the words of wisdom, or sorry, we're having hours going out all around me, but this is staying on. How funny is that? I have instructions to turn the air back on. Anyways, so, you know, again, like everything, it's sort of that laser focus. Are we picking up on the negative things and the doubt? Or are we picking up of that one person that says, you know what, you did really good? Like when I was in college. So here's a funny thing. I had to take public speaking. This is way before I ever thought for a minute I would end up being a public speaker. But when you had to do a 30-minute presentation at the end. Oh my gosh, my whole class was full of firefighters. There was one other girl from the business program in my whole class. I was in my 30s. Everybody was 19 or 20. And I did it on my personal experience as a victim of stalking.
Yeah.
And when I was done, my teacher pulled me aside. And you know, I was shitting my pants, for lack of another, right? I was so nervous, so scared. And then I'm doing a real topic. So I'm sharing a bit of my own story with some statistics and videos and handouts, trying to kill the 30 minutes, right? Here's a handout. I'll walk real slow. But at the end, he pulled me aside. He said, in 30 years or whatever of teaching that class, highest mark he'd ever given. And when I started doing public speaking, that was my anchor, right? So had he not paid that compliment, that I was hesitant on if I believed in that moment, right? I mean, he was giving me some good facts, but still you're like, maybe that's a fluke, whatever. But it's carried me on through my career. You know, even just doing a Facebook Live could be terrifying. Not terrorizing.
Yeah. So part of it is, here's one of the things with confidence. Part of the thing with confidence, and again, I'm not talking about arrogance and like some weird, you know, fake confidence.
Right.
It really, it takes many small voices and steps, and sometimes you pivot. And I'll mention my experience. Like I know some people that are on our chat. We got a group of people today. Thank you, everybody. But I know a person on the chat that had a horrible first relationship, just horrible. And this person, out of that, it didn't throw her for a loop. She went out and she became self-made. And you know what? This person knows who it is, and I have so much respect for her. Like I'm just telling you, it's. So here's the thing. I'm going to tell you. Here's a stat, just so you understand this, why this is so important, and why the thing last week was so important, and the video today.
Yeah.
Like Michelle and I could talk and do a Zoom meeting all the time. We do this and we benefit. Trust me, but we want you to benefit. We don't want you to be stuck, so no shortcuts, right?
Yeah.
But here's something. In a restaurant, you worked in a restaurant, right?
Yeah.
You've gone to restaurants in your life?
I what?
Have you ever been to a restaurant? No.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay.
A lot. Ah,
So say you go to a restaurant and you order grilled cheese and tomato soup.
perfect.
Same restaurant all the time. You know,
Yeah.
you've been there 9 times, and on the 10th time you go in, the grilled cheese is burnt, the soup is cold, and the waitress sucks.
Oh,
Do you remember the 9
that's
or
right.
the 1?
That's right. Yes, exactly. I know yeah. So I would focus on the 9 and I would try one more time. I wouldn't try 9 more times. I'd try one more time. But it's like when you're talking about referrals, right? That's exactly what they used to say to us is that if you have a good meal, you tell nobody or one person. But if you have a bad experience, you're going to tell 10 people.
Yeah. And here, and so the idea is, so here I'm going to read some negative self affirmations are challenging because our brain is wired to remember a negative experience. If I was a psychiatrist and you guys were the old fashioned sitting on a couch or whatever, right? And if I asked you to remember, I want you to tell me 10 or 5, we'll do 5 experiences in your childhood that were very difficult and 5 that were like awesome. The stats will say it's way, and it is a way the way our brain remembers, or they have more impact on us, right?
That's
But
right.
we learn to shift it, right? So we need to take this this experience. So like Michelle said it, and Michelle's just not a negative person, so it's not fair using her in a way. But we, it's very easy to have that one bad experience,
Yeah.
and to blow it up.
That's
And when we, and by the way, we do it with ourselves. It's like, oh, I'm a goof. What's wrong with me, right? I ate I ate 4 bags of chips, but they're on 99 cents. They were cheap. No, um, I um, I didn't get, like, I blew that money. I whatever, right? I have a friend of mine passed away. I think I've shared this before. Portuguese young man passed away last year, overdose, and I did some. I was doing some recovery counseling with him, and he grew up in Toronto. And this is the extent of this negative talk. And then he owned it. Is his mom would say, "You'll never amount to anything."
exactly.
And and I want to encourage you. So the other thing I want to throw out there for those of us that have children or grandchildren,
Yeah.
and I battle this a little bit. Like my daughter, who's watches some of this, whatever. My daughter's had a tough year. My daughter and grandkids have had. We all have tough years, by the way.
Yeah.
It's been tough. Moved out away from us, and separation. Ex-husband is gone. She had to get a job. She had to learn to drive first time in 30 years, and she had social anxiety. And she's doing good and doing good. And I was telling her the other day, I said, it's because I always say, it's, "Oh, hun, you've done so good. You've done so good." And I shifted. I said, "Hun, okay, you've done so good. Awesome. You got your license, you got a job, you're managing. But let's not be stuck there.
Right.
Let's not be driven in some weird thing. Like, what's your goal?" She does remote work online stuff, right?
Yeah.
And she gets like minimum wage, and it's challenging, like for the rest of us.
Yeah.
I said, well, let's look for remote, and let's, instead of making, I think it's up to 17, and she's a single mom, right? So I said, and I'll help you online, work through Indeed, and that.
Yeah,
Let's try to get
exactly.
19.
That's right.
Me going back to the gym, I wasn't beating myself up for not going for 3 weeks. I went on Tuesday. I said, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I did the treadmill. It was the longest I've been at the gym for one period. So I did all my weight training, and that I'm going tomorrow again. So it's so easy. Like, it's so easy to ride the wave when life is so good, and I just won the lottery. Oh, the stat. What happens to 90% of the people that win a lottery within a year? What happens?
They totally blow it, and sometimes they die.
They go back to where they were.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
As Michelle would say, they didn't change their stinking
Thinking.
thinking.
That's right. Because if you don't do the hard work, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So the other thought to throw in there, and we always go overtime, so we don't like not we don't care just what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Here you can leave whenever you want, and we'll leave when we're done, right? But we live in a world now of influencers. It's our whole social media thing. You can find anything good, bad, and the ugly. You can find an influencer that will reiterate some of your devalued self, like, oh, I wish I was Taylor Swift, or what, like whatever type of thing, right? And the thing I was going to tell you, because I mentioned about our kids and grandkids and the people around us, we're influencers if we like it or not, unless you're locked in the house and you don't even meet the Amazon driver
That's right.
or skip the dishes,
That's
because you're influencing yourself, by the way.
That's right.
In the power of influencing, if we want to be a positive influencer in this world and not BS influencing, like that, those people were asked honest questions. What do you see in this person?
Yeah.
We have the power to change ourselves, and we have the power to change our communities,
Yeah.
and
for
then
sure.
we have power to change. So when we live in our Western world's mindset is, and if you're successful and you've done well, awesome, high five. I know you've worked at it. For people that have, if you're working through stuff, but you're here today and taking care of your bills, high five, because the person in the mansion and the person in the bachelor dwelling, we're all human beings and we're all important, and it's important, right? So the idea to look in the mirror and believe in yourself, but you want to believe, here's how important this is. You need to believe that you can shift. And unless you're perfect, if you're perfect, stay the way you are. You've got it, just leave us a tip or something. I don't know. You find the influences, like Michele shared all this stuff I've never seen, and I know lots of stuff. I'm not like dumb, right?
Right.
And I share stuff, and you guys share stuff, and all this stuff. Find stuff that feeds into your psyche, that you're wonderful and you're awesome and you're worth it.
Yeah.
To the point of not just find that inner strength to help you become the person you want to be for whatever, yourself and others, right? I've shared before that it's October 10th coming up is my 8-year anniversary of cancer surgery, where what was going to be cancer scary, but what was going to be a smaller procedure ended up being a bigger procedure. 3 hours went to 6.5 hours. My wife thought they weren't telling what was going on, right? It traumatized my body, it traumatized everything. And I was bedridden for a while, right? I don't know. That was the darkest place of my life, and my married life. I had other dark stuff when I was a kid, right?
Right.
I don't know. I was talking to somebody who said, so when did things shift you? When did you decide not to be, I'm saying for me, a victim, but an overcomer? And I don't remember, and we can laugh because I'm telling you this because it might be you. I was in bed, nurses coming every day, and Teresa, my wife, or my son would bring me food. It was actually mostly grilled cheese, Michele.
There you go.
And I was bored, and so I had my little iPad, and I started watching some of these courses I've taken off Udemy. These courses do with depression and PTSD and all that.
Yeah.
And so I was taking it out of boredom, and I wasn't confident. I still was. All I did was sleep and try to get to the bathroom type stuff, right?
Right.
But I don't know when something shifted. But something shifted when now I was out of the room and now I was down into the main floor. We had a 3-floor townhouse. And then the first time I went in the car and fresh air, like the journey, right?
Yes.
And so with all of us, for those that have had surgery, you've had surgery, Michele, you've had kids.
Yeah, well, I had 3 children.
It's interesting with surgery. What do they try to get you to do right away after surgery, the next day? get up and walk.
Push your boundaries. Yeah, exactly.
And the reason they get you to get up and walk, first of all, it's a practical thing about getting circulation and blood.
Yep.
And it's what Michelle just said, it's to get that boundary out, because trust me, we all feel after surgery, we feel like, just leave me alone, let me sleep this off, I'll feel better tomorrow.
Right.
Right. So there you go.
There you go. Very good. I totally agree. And I actually looked up online. I'm just going to share briefly because I know we're over our 1 hour, but it's 10 ways to improve your self-perception. I'm not going to, I'm just going to read the 10, or it's,
And then you'll share it.
I think there's 8, 4, 5, 6, 8 ways. I'll share it later, just in list form on the page. But 10 ways to improve your self-perception. Number 1, don't compare yourself to others. Number 2, be positive. Number 3, make time to do what makes you happy, whatever that is. Number 4, don't beat yourself up. Number 5, surround yourself with positive people. Number 6, don't take things personally. If you're getting rushed through the line, don't take it personal. And then number 7, practice daily affirmations. And then number 8, challenge yourself. I thought that was important as well. And sorry, I got to open the door here. If I can just add, being positive doesn't mean you're not being real. Like sometimes people, like, I have lots of things that piss me off or push my buttons, if you will. But I have to, yeah, my head. I have to work through that and go through my own little processes. Is it something I can control? No, I can't control the government. Is it, you know what I mean? Whatever. And I have to rein myself in and then use some of the skills. I like to call it in my little tool belt, my wellness tool belt, use some skills to help me get out of that, because it's really easy. And even though I've been practicing positivity, I have things all over that make me feel good, right? Like I have a picture of Alec right here. I have a picture of my dad right there. I have positive Post-its. Sometime maybe next week, I'll video my little corner of people I care about. But it's those things that all help as well, right? That just help you keep in that mindset. But I think comparing yourself is the thief of joy, right? To everybody. Now, going back to some of the things you were saying, the one thing that stood out to me, there's another, okay, I have a video about influencers. If you want me to share it next week, I will, or sometime. But I was watching a little clip. I don't think it was really a full video. And it was really simple. It was asking people, what do you hate about your body? Bam, bam, bam. 3 quick answers. What do you love about your body? Crickets. Crickets, absolute crickets. Where when you think about, like, I am not perfect, but you know what? I love my cheekbones. I've had them a long time. I absolutely love them. I'm not a fan of my nose. Like, we all have different things, right? But you need to be able to say, you know what? I have really nice hands, or I grow nice nails, or I love how my ears are even. Like, I don't know, but something, oh my goodness, your ears are equally proportioned. I love that. But like something, right? Maybe it's, I like the way my hair is graying. I see that with a lot of people. I'm like, wow, that's transitioning nicely, right? Or whatever. And I think the other part that ties in with that, if there's not something that you really like, can you work on it and make it better? Like everything could be worse.
Yeah.
Stop, right?
So there's going to be some homework before. Do you have a quote to leave us with?
Oh, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. This part will be good. Okay. Couple quick things, right? But I'm going to give you, I call it homework. It's challenging you, right? So we've got like a group of people on. Thank you all for joining us.
For coming.
I know some will be on here and then maybe cooking or putting the kids to bed or whatever. but we appreciate you, and some will follow this later, right? So here's the thing. Here's the homework. I want to encourage you, maybe is a better way to say it, to the people around you that are important to you. And we're all in different circumstances. Some people may be estranged from family, whatever.
Yep.
I want you this week, and if you feel comfortable sharing a bit of a story of it, I want you to find something positive, that's real, that's genuine, that you can share with that person. I'd love for you to share a story. So here's the thing we tell you all the time. Me, Michelle, like I was the guy that you didn't know was at the party when I was a teenager. I was the guy in the corner. When's Tom going to get here?
Right.
This shifting into believing that my story is important. That's probably, I would never thought I'd be in outside sales, by the way. Right. I want to be in the back house. But so I want to encourage you to, because here's the other thing too. You jokingly, you become what you eat, kind of a joking thing, right?
That's true though.
If you live in this thing of trusting yourself to see the goodness in others, at some point you'll begin to see it in yourself.
That's right.
So here's something, two quick things. Okay, I'm going to give you one more thing to do, right? Like Michelle said, but she's got it all blurred. Okay. Today I went to the dentist. So I have an issue with my teeth. I've had it forever. I've paid tens and tens and tens of thousands of dollars. I have kind of no back teeth. They gave me, I bought partials, thousands of dollars. I hated the feel in them. I felt claustrophobic, right? So today, so I chew in my front, and I don't smile a lot. Like I'm kind of funny. Look at the videos if you don't believe me, right? So I went in, and the dentist, I've been going to this dentist practice for almost 30 years.
Wow.
Every dentist been through there I've dealt with. The old guy, his name is Dr. Thomas. I'm Thomas Paul. Anyways, but it was this lady dentist that I've known for 10 years. And she fixed all of the bottom of my teeth.
Awesome.
And you know what I noticed watching this? Like I would not, like I wouldn't want to smile. I would kind of try to hide my I do like. So this just happened. No freezing. It happened a little while ago. So I'm telling you, if you allow yourself, your mind, to live in a place of looking for opportunities to see goodness in yourself and others, change the world. So here's the other thing too. If you're old like me and almost as old as Michelle, in our day, we didn't have phones that took pictures. We had hard copies of phones. This here,
look.
That is my son who's graduating next week, who's 18, and that's my daughter who's 32 this year. So there's a gap. And I have pictures like that.
Oh, good.
All around me.
Yes.
And I'm telling you, as a man, and if most of the people here are ladies, show these to the important men in your life. Show them to your sons and husbands. And there's a chemical thing they actually talk about that happens. I look at this, not that I'm not a grumpy guy. You know, try not to be grumpy. It's in our family genes.
That's right. Exactly.
They're from my mom. Sorry, mom. But when I look at these, and I don't even remember the moment of that, but I remember that.
That's right.
This helps trigger happy places. So the last thing I'll leave you with, and if Michelle's found a quote, I'm going to give like a movie-ish quote.
Oh, go for it. You're on.
Okay. I've told people about a movie that we laugh about, and people have said they watch it with their kids. I'm encouraging you to rewatch it. Robin Williams and Hook.
Oh, I love it. I've watched it with the grandchildren.
Watch it. How long ago?
I'd say probably just about a year ago.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Now we all watch movies in different, like I'll have the TV on and multitask, but I'll tell you what that movie, what movies speak to me in a very different way sometimes, right? So here's the gist of this movie, and this is how we view ourselves. Robin Williams is a lawyer, Peter Banning. He's got a couple of kids, but he really is Peter Pan, but he doesn't know he's Peter Pan, right? So Hook wants the ultimate fight with Peter Pan, so he comes and he steals his kids. So now Peter Pan's got to go to Neverland, which he doesn't believe, and he's a lawyer, so all this stuff, right? So so it's actually really funny. The movie's like 20 some years old. It's hilarious, right? But Robin Williams was hilarious. So anyways, he's really Peter Pan, but he thinks he's this lawyer. He's stuck in this mindset. So he goes and he's in Neverland, and it's all weird, like it's out of his comfort zone. And so the Lost Boys are trying to help him remember that he's Peter Pan.
Right.
So the Lost Boys, so Hook's got the kids. He says, okay, you've got 2 days to become Peter Pan, so I'm just gonna get rid of your kids, like kill them, right? And it's like a kid, so it's not like gruesome, right?
No, right.
So the Lost Boys, and they're going like, Peter, what happened to you? He grew up and he became a man, right? So they're doing this one thing, and he's like, if you know what Peter Pan, the story, crow, fly, like these were part of his character, right?
Yeah.
And so they're trying to help him fly. He can't fly. They're trying to help him find his happy thoughts, which he can't find, right?
Right.
So he's exhausted. This is the reason I'm saying this, Michelle. This is, I think, what happened to me 11 months into being into bed and not wanting to live.
Right.
I didn't have happy thoughts. I saw Hook before that, by the way. But he's sitting there at the table. He's exhausted. They're chasing him. They're trying to do all this stuff. He's physically, mentally exhausted, and he's hungry. And they're sitting at the table with all the Lost Boys, and he goes. The one kid, I think, does a little amen prayer, and he goes, "Where's the food?" Imaginary food. And he goes, "It's in front of you, Peter." And he's like, well, the adult version, F this is crap. This isn't real, right? So they do this funny name calling thing, kind of a distraction therapy, if you want. Then all of a sudden, they're having a food fight. And Peter takes his spoon, I think it was a spoon, not a fork, and he's using his imagination, and he flicks it, and he hits one of the kids with, I don't know, ice cream, potato, whatever the food was, right?
Yeah.
And the larger black boy, if I'm not saying it, the fellow,
Yep.
he goes, this is the hashtag, this is the quote. Peter, you're doing it.
Right. Exactly.
I want to tell you and me and Michelle by our first name, you're doing it.
Yeah.
Just by being here. And it's not that we are awesome, by the way.
We're pretty
But
amazing.
we're not Joe Rogan.
We're not superheroes.
We'll never complain about that, but that's not our goal. Our goal is just to influence the people we are with now, right? You need to know that you can do this.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I'm not telling you that you can jump and hit the moon. Like, let's be smart, right? I used to think I could fly as a kid. I thought I could fly like Superman, by the way. But I was my dreams, right?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you that if you want to get well mentally, you want to, maybe you're not very kind because life has been hard, but you want to learn to be kind. You want to be reconciled with family.
Yeah.
You're working through, and like me and Michelle, like me and my siblings have talked about the challenge of siblings. It's easier for the most part, but we talk about like, how do we wrestle through this sense of abandonment?
Right.
This sense of no value, because that's what I felt, right? Even though I was there, right? So I want to tell you that we can overcome.
That's right.
We can do it.
That's right. Absolutely. Would you like to look at the hashtags I added while you were talking?
Oh, you're crazy. Nice teeth, dude.
And Rufio.
Like peeling an
Remember in
onion.
the movie,
Rufio,
right?
Rufio.
Rufio. Yeah, like peeling an onion. That's
Go,
how life
seriously,
is.
there's a ton of you on there. Go, whatever type of thing you
Go
watch,
check it out.
go and just be aware. Watch Hook for me.
Yeah.
I'd pay you all $1 if you want.
A shiny loony? Oh, how special.
No, 100 pennies. I have the pennies. No.
Oh, I still have pennies too. Very good.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
We appreciate
Thanks,
all of you.
we do.
And
Absolutely.
so here, because I have to remind myself about
Good.
something. Look at that.
Oh, look at that guy. Isn't he handsome with his dad?
and little Ethan is little there. He's 6'4" now, right?
Right.
Find
Right.
some pictures that encourage you. Find pictures that encourage you.
Yeah.
Find something that makes you happy. Try to watch Hook and find people that you love, even if you've done it before, but find something that you can say, you know what? I just want you to know that you're awesome and I appreciate the hard work you do. I want you to know that who's meh again? He's a good cook though, right?
Alec, great.
Yeah. You know what, Alec, I'm telling you, Uncle's telling you you're a great cook, and I can't wait to taste your food.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Steak all day long with that kid and bacon
Okay.
and eggs. You'll love it. I totally agree. So everybody have an amazing week. Don't forget how absolutely awesome and fabulous you are. And anything is possible when you put your mind to it. So you got this. I believe in you. Tom believes in you. And we're so grateful that you're getting together with us every week. And even if this is your thing, just getting together, hearing some new ideas and sharing. So super happy that we're able to do this. And next week, we're going to do it all again. Same
And if
bad
you need
time.
it, and if you need us,
Yeah,
if you need to talk to us privately, if you need to talk in the group, it's a safe place.
it is. Send us a message too.
Okay. Bye, everybody.
Absolutely. Okay, bye, everybody. Have a great week.